Yo.
Hello, good evening. It is a great honor to join the club. Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today is a new career mode series that I will be doing here on the channel. I have done 2 career modes in the past and they just didn't end up doing well. Just didn't work out. So I think they're all gone from the channel now, unfortunately, because I moved on to kind of Ultimate Team content because I really got into that. But we're back on career mode because Ultimate Team right now, content-wise, I'm not really feeling it. Don't really know exactly what to do, and I'm still trying to figure out a couple things for that. So we are on the career mode, and we are, of course, going to be going with the San Jose Earthquakes, my favorite team. They're kind of my hometown, or they're basically the closest team to me. So they were the easiest team to go see games for. So I started going, and then I eventually started to really fall in love with the team. And yeah, I'd say now it's probably my favorite team other than Man City. I kind of, my European team is Manchester City, but my kind of domestic team is San Jose Earthquakes. So we're going to go with them, and hopefully we can bring them to glory. Goals for this first season, not really sure. I feel like I could. We have 42 million, so I feel like we could actually do quite well. We could maybe win the whole thing, but I'm looking to maybe for now just win the US Open Cup. That would be nice for me. To move on with the objectives, we actually have some pretty decent circumstances here. A lot of them are low priority objectives. So the youth development, we only need to assign 2 players younger than 20 years of age with a potential greater than the average overall rating of the players in that current position. That should be pretty easy. And then sign 1 youth academy player as a forward. That should be pretty simple as well. Then we also have to sell out 85% of our matches, which I think is pretty easy to do in this. Other than that, financial, we have to grow the club in 3 seasons. I don't even know if we'll get to 3 seasons with this career mode. I was kind of planning on maybe just doing a 1 season kind of wonder thing, but I'm still not sure. It depends on how I enjoy it. So as I said before, we ended up having $42.6 million in funds after the 60% increase that you unlock. And that's really going to help us improve our squad, because right now you have like big teams like LAFC signing players like Carlos Vela who are just carrying them through the league. So I'm really hoping we could sign maybe one of those type of players. Not to that caliber, like an 83 is probably going to be unrealistic, and I want to try and keep this semi-realistic, but not totally. I still want to be able to make a good team, and if I was going totally realistic, I probably wouldn't make any signings, because San Jose right now have no transfer rumors at all, and I think are mainly going through the youth academies and stuff like that, which I'm fine with. I love doing the youth academy, and speaking of that, we are going to actually sign our first 2 scouts. We got Lucas Gauthier here, 5-star, so you'd love to see that, and hopefully, yep. Oh, okay, so we got 2 Gauthiers, Lucas and Walter Gauthier. That's kind of cool. 1 from Canada, 1 from the United States. We're going to send the Canadian to the United States for 3 months. And I want to get a physically strong player, because if you don't know, apparently if you assign the player type to physically strong, they actually are better with stamina. So I'm going to start off with that, and then with our 5-star experienced 4-star judgment scout Walter Gauthier, I'm going to go to Mexico for a winger. They are known for making their wingers, and I think we can make a couple more if we go here. So we're going to go there for 3 months, and then that's going to be all for the scouting for now. We're down to 34.8 million, I think it was. Then we got to deal with the global transfer network. We're going to Turkey right now, which just isn't ideal. So I'm going to change that to Germany, because I think a lot of great players can come out of Germany. Only 2-star experience on that guy as well, which is kind of shaky. So my plan for this series is to probably do a month at a time. I think that's a pretty comfortable time period to be getting through each episode. And I don't even think I've mentioned this before now. This is a simulation only career mode, because I just wanted to get away from gameplay. And this is what I do in all my career modes. I usually do like a League 4 or a League 2 team like Macclesfield or Swindon, and I just take them all the way to the Premier League only by simming. So that's what it's going to be. We're going to basically be simming through 1 month each episode if all goes well. If it's too short, maybe after the first couple episodes, we can maybe increase it to 2 months an episode. But if it's too long, it might just have to be a long episode series. So now that we've got that all out of the way, we go on to the squad. Now, ideally, this is what my squad would be if I could just have it right now. If I didn't make any signings, which we are 100% going to make some signings, but that will be in just a moment. But this is what I would put out. Same team, but something about Magnus Eriksson. He just doesn't really, I just don't really roll with him. I don't know why. He's just not really very consistent. Whenever I've seen him, he hasn't done that well. So we're going to go with Vako at cam. I really love the way he plays in real life. Husin out on the left, and then of course the legend Wondo up top. We're not gonna take Wondolowski out of the striker position until he retires, which I think might be next season actually. So we might not even get to there, but really looking forward to also having Espinosa. He was on a loan, but now of course he's a permanent player at the club, so I think he's going to be one of our good stars. But other than that, these are the players I've already kind of prepared. These are some of the players that I'm thinking maybe we could sign to the club. Steve Mooney, this is probably for when Wanda leaves, if he ever does, and the series is still going on. We have Alessandro Schkoff. Hopefully that's how you say it, but right mid, right wing back, center mid. I would probably play this guy at cam because he can be a center mid, but I think he would do pretty good at cam for an MLS team. We also have Shaquille Moore. Now, Tommy Thompson is pretty young, and I would like to train him, but I feel like I would just rather have a more immediate replacement for him. So I think Shaquille Moore would be the man for the job, but Fabian Johnson is also an option if we don't pick up Moore. For goalkeeper, we really need a good goalkeeper. That is one of the major things you need to do in a career mode, is get a goalkeeper that is like fitting for your league. And right now a 67 rated Vega just isn't. So I think we're gonna try and get Sean Johnson. He has a release clause, but I think we're gonna try and negotiate for maybe a lower price. Alfredo Morales, I would love to bring him back to the States. But he has just recently joined the club and won't move again. Sometimes, I think I've done another career mode where he had a release clause. But even if he did in this, I don't think I would pay it. Other than that, we have Havard Nordveit. I hope I'm saying all these names right. We have Christopher Schindler as well. Tom Ince, he's just a player that I used to use a lot in career mode and I really like. Junior Hoyle. We also have Yenga Mbiwa, Tim Ream. And that kind of lines up the first kind of set of players that I listed out that I might want to purchase. Now, of course, I'm not going to do all these. I'm going to do the necessary ones, then kind of work out what I want to do with the rest of my funds. And you'd love to see the legend Chris Wondolowski greeting us. I'm excited about the future. Thank you, Chris. I think I am going to try and get Sean Johnson. Now he's a 4.4 million release clause, and we've got him for 4 million. Maybe that was overpriced, maybe that was perfectly priced. But he's 72 rated, 29 years of age, so kind of getting on in age, but he's a goalkeeper, so he still has many years left of his career. He's going to be a crucial player. I don't know, I really like Sean Johnson. I don't think we'll replace him anytime soon. Hopefully he'll sign for at least 3 years. Okay, we'll get him for 3 years. And there it is, 4 million for Sean Johnson, the transfer from New York City FC. He's on a $6,000 wage, and 72 rated goalkeeper is pretty average, I'd say, for the MLS. So I think that is going to give us just a bit of help in these simulation games, because when you have a bad goalkeeper in the simulation, I've definitely experienced this before, it just doesn't go well. But without any further ado, let's get into the first game, Philadelphia Union. I feel like we're going to get absolutely smashed here. 2-2. 2-2, not bad. Danny Husin and Chris Wondolowski. A penalty for each of the clubs. Wooten and, not even going to try that name, got their goals. So 2-2 in the first match. against, I think, probably the best team in the group. So I'm actually quite happy with that. We've also got a lot of scouting reports back. I think we're gonna try and make our first massive signing. I really want to go with Alessandro Schaff, I think. So Alessandro Schaff, he's 24 years old and he's worth 9 million, which is a pretty steep price. We do have the money, of course, to spend that, but I think I'm gonna try player swap. Florian Jungwirth is actually worth 3 million. Magnus Eriksson is worth 2, and those are the 2 players that are going to be big swap pieces, I guess, in the team. But they want a striker. I might have to trade Andy Rios for him. So Andy Rios and 10 million looks like it will be the price, which is pretty pricey for our budget. But I think Schaff is worth it. He's 24 years old. I think he has a potential about 77 or 78. So I think if we can get it for 9.5, which we can, I think that's going to be good. And I think he really can do well in the MLS. I think he used to have a lot more potential, and then he kind of fell off at Schalke. So I think bring him to the MLS when he's still young, he can start to dominate. And maybe we can even send him off before the end of the career mode, and he can, revive his career back in Europe. And there it is. Alessandro Schaff is officially a San Jose Earthquake. $19,000 for his wages. And I really think I'm going to be enjoying him in the team. Although we have to take out Danny Hoesen, he'll be a valuable substitute for Chris Wondolowski. But there he is. Schaff, 4-star weak foot and 3-star skills. I think he's going to be a star. It's either we go with Shaquille Moore, who's 22 and has a 2 million release clause, or maybe like 5 to 6 million for Fabian Johnson, and we could play him at right back or left back. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with Shaquille Moore. We're going to pay his release clause, so there we go. We don't have to really, we can worry about him later. Now I want a center back, so I really want Schindler actually, or Tim Ream. So I'm actually going to wait till their scout reports come through, but Shaquille Moore will be the 3rd signing, and then I think we get into the rest of the group stage games until the scouting report for those other center backs come in, and then we can try and purchase them. So Shaquille Moore will sign for $2.7 thousand for his wages, and that is our 3rd signing, just like that. It isn't that realistic anymore. They used to have it where you had to wait a couple days for them to actually accept the offer and come back, but now you could sign 15 different players on one day, which is kind of crazy. But Tommy Thompson will be relegated to the bench, unfortunately. Eventually I probably will sell him if he goes up a rating or 2. He might be worth about 1.5 million. So he definitely will be on the transfer block soon. But Shaquille Moore is in, 22 years of age, right back / left back, and also right mid, which I really do like. Next up, we're gonna play some games, or not play some games. We're gonna sim some games, but after that, I really wanna replace Jungwirth. I really wanna replace Jungwirth with a different center back, and then we can have Kashia on the bench. So we are going to be facing FC Cincinnati, but before that we're going to go into training. We don't have any youth prospects right now that we want to train up. We will have eventually, but for now we're going to do Saeed Hadji. Hopefully I'm saying his first name right. Saeed? It is going to be very interesting to see what they do in FIFA 21 with career mode training, because I've heard that there are going to actually be scheduled trainings where you can go out on the training pitch and actually do some work out there. So I think that's going to be very exciting. They also have a new simulation type thing in that, which I'm very excited for. That looks insane. It looks so cool on the FIFA trailer, where you can jump in, you can make changes, and it's almost like a Football Manager where you got the little pegs moving around, which I just think is going to be a really good addition. But we are going into the second match against the newly inducted, I guess, FC Cincinnati, and we win 3-0. Schaff on his debut. Lima gets 2, but there is a con from that match. Wondolowski is injured. Hopefully not for long. Hoesen came in, so it might be serious. 8 weeks. Oh no. So we're gonna have to deal with the Wondolowski situation I guess just by putting Danny Houston up there for 8 weeks, but we don't really have a substitute striker except for Andy Rios, oh no, we traded him away. So unfortunately we don't have a substitute striker for now, but we have officially got ourselves Christopher Schindler, so that's the the center back that I decided to get. We traded Florian Jungwirth and 1.5 million for him, and he's coming on a $18.5 thousand wage. So he's going to be our main center back along with Alanis, who's unfortunately on loan. So we will eventually need to replace him. But this is what the squad is looking like. I'm actually pretty happy with this, except for the central defensive midfielder that I want. But other than that, I'm very, very comfortable with the squad. So I think we just finished the tournament off right here. Hopefully we can get to the end of the month without having any more injuries. So we go into the match against New York Red Bulls. If we win this, we get through. Okay, I think we should get through. Moore gets a red card, so we'll put in Tommy Thompson there. So Tommy Thompson is a really, really good replacement to have as well for a right back. We're gonna keep training Haji, and unfortunately, it's gonna be like only once an episode that we're gonna be able to get our scout report, which it kind of sucks, but we will continue training Haji because he does have 78 potential as well, which is quite decent. Alright, so we move into the semifinals against the Colorado Rapids, and hopefully Moore wasn't too big of a piece and Tommy Thompson can do the work. Danny Houston! There we go, that's what I love to see. Replacing Wondolowski, gets himself a brace, and that might take him to the top goal scorer in the competition. Oh, Kamara, never mind, and we're about to face him as well. DC United are actually one of the teams that always do very good if I ever do an offline career mode in the MLS. For some reason, they just absolutely start tearing up the league, but we are going to be facing them in the final of the Champions Trophy. I think the squad is all good, but I'm just going to put in more. I'm really, really liking how the defense turned out. Schindler, I think, is going to be a really, really good addition. And I'm really loving the attack as well. Of course, when we get Wondolowski back, I think it will really start to roll. But Schaff, that is probably the sign that I'm most proud of. But right now, Nick Lima 3 goals, Danny Houston 3 goals, but Kamara has 6 and Assad has 3. So we're gonna see what we can do. Sean Johnson has been pretty good. I think we've got a couple clean sheets. Well, there goes I believe $500,000 for that. So we got to the final, which I think is good. I don't think if we had made any of those signings that we would have made it to the final at all. I don't even think we would have made it out of the group stage. So I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, we didn't get the extra funds for winning the tournament, but you know, there is always a next year. I think now we just sit to the end of the month. There probably isn't anything that will be happening. So I will see you guys on the next episode, which will be August. One other thing that I'm really actually excited for, we are, by the way, the time, of course, is off. In the MLS, the MLS starts like when the other leagues are ending, and it ends, I think, when the other leagues are beginning, something like that. So we have to go through the January transfer window first. So we only get 1 month. So, you know, next episode, that will be when all the actual league games will start. So that's going to be quite exciting. So that is going to be all from me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I don't even want to do really anything on transfer deadline day, so I think I'm just going to sit through it. So that's going to be all for me. Hope you enjoyed today's first episode of the San Jose Career Mode. Leave your comments down below. Any ideas of how I could improve the series or anything else. And I'll see you guys later.